Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Wednesday. We have a 6-gamer starting at 7:30, so let's get into it. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We got a lot of COVID issues on a bunch of these teams here, especially Toronto. Atlanta is banged up. We still got issues with De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento, and the Bulls are missing some bodies. So it's going to be another very interesting slate. Starting off at point guard, your most expensive guy is Darius Garland tonight. He's 97. The Cavs also got hit with the COVID bug. They are going to be without their centers, a couple of their role pieces as well. There's no Jared Allen, no Mobley. So you're looking at Kevin Love playing a lot of the center minutes. Markkanen maybe will play some of the center minutes if they decide to go with a stretch four over there. You're probably going to get huge minutes for Garland and big minutes for like Ricky Rubio, who's at $6,200. Given the big price discrepancy, I like Rubio. Wouldn't really want to play Garland at 97. You need like 60 out of Garland to be happy with that price tag. SGA is expensive at 95. I'm going to pass against Denver there. Cole Anthony's questionable. If he plays, that will be a nice bump for Orlando. Now, they're big dogs right now to Atlanta, a team that's missing Trae Young, Clint Capella. If Cole Anthony's in, you might want to put some money on the Magic. Lonzo had a huge game last time out. He's expensive now at 88. His price tag jumped by over 1,000. So I'll probably look to some better pieces here. You have no Alex Caruso. They signed Nick Stauskas, so he is back in the league. I don't know if he will play a lot tonight, but they don't have very many bodies. Still like Halliburton without De'Aaron Fox. He's $8,200. He just plays big minutes. 41 in a 15-point loss. Him, Healed. They're playing huge minutes, and Halliburton gives you big upside. He's been shooting the ball a lot more without Fox, and the assists are just very, very steady every single game. For the value picks here, DeLon Wright has to be one of the best ones on the slate. He's $4,600. He's going to start in place of Trae Young. Great matchup against Orlando. It's just kind of one of those plug-and-play spots that you can plug in at your point guard spot. He's only point guard eligible. So you have like 3 spots you can play him at. Kobe White's also a pretty good value pick. He will start in place of Alex Caruso. He started when Caruso left the game, started the second half, and he's had a very good price tag. Zach LaVine is doubtful, so they're going to need somebody to score the ball alongside DeRozan. Moving on to shooting guard, Paul George is very expensive. He's almost $11,000. I will pass on that. You're not going to have LaVine tonight. You're not going to have Van Vliet. Jaylen Brown is up to 10K. Garland at 10K almost is a pass. First guy that I feel good about is Halliburton at 82, given all these other guys' price tags, which have really risen. Like Josh Giddey is almost 8,000. Buddy Hield has jumped up to 7,000. Just give me Halliburton, which gives you 50-point upside at a still reasonable price tag. Kevin Huerter looks good on the Hawks. He's going to get more shots off, more usage without Trae Young. You're going to have good minutes for like Cedi Osman at 45. The Bucks don't have Giannis, so you're still going to be looking to like Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton. But Kobe White looks good at 41. Cam Reddish at 37 looks solid as well. Small forward, top end, I don't really want to pay 11K for Tatum. Paul George seems to be a pass. LaVine is not going to play. Going to pass on Jaylen Brown. Chris Middleton's like the first guy that I feel good about at 83 out of the top guys. OG was on a minutes limit in his first game back. I think he still won't be thrown back into the fire, but they don't have very many bodies, so there's a chance he plays 33 to 34 minutes if they just decide to just play more minutes because they really have nobody in the at the 4 and the 3. Harrison Barnes, Buddy Hield, their price tags have kind of risen enough to where I'm looking at the other teams that are dealing with limited bodies. Herter's still a good value pick at 5,000. The 4K range, I like Cedi Osman. 3K range, you can look to like Svi Mikhailuk. Watanabe is going to maybe start at the 3 for them, and he's had some decent games, and he's looking at over 30 minutes, and they don't have Van Vliet. They also don't have Siakam. Moving on to the guy that I'm going to plug in at small forward will probably be one of these value picks. I like Watanabe, maybe Cam Reddish, or Svi, depending on, Svi and Watanabe both start. But I'll pass on that for now. At power forward, First guy that looks somewhat interesting is, DraftKings just completely changed a lot of these price tags. 10-2 for DeRozan, 87 for Wendell Carter Jr., who's probably not going to play. He's questionable, maybe he plays, but that price tag is pretty insane. Even Franz Wagner's up to 76. So they know that there's so many value picks on a lot of these teams that they've kind of just priced up the guys that are active and are going to play just because they want you to fill out your full salary, which I guess makes some sense. Czech Metu is expensive. I still probably like Markkanen, just they don't have very many bodies. I like Kevin Love at 57. Chris Boucher at 51 looks very appealing. And you're probably going to get a very good value in like Okongwu at $3,400 in his first game. He played 14 minutes only. He was in foul trouble, picked up 5 fouls during that stretch. But Orlando's a team that still is missing. Maybe if Wendell Carter plays, better chance of them playing bigger. But still like Okongwu at 34. If he gets you over 20 minutes, he can still pretty easily hit value. At center, Jokic is going to be very easy to get to on the slate, so I'm going to plug him in. There's just so many value picks that you're going to be looking to pay up for a stud, and most of these studs are out today, so Jokic is very easy to get to in a dream matchup against the Thunder. The only thing that you're going to be concerned with is a blowout, because if there's not a blowout, Jokic can easily go for 70 plus. I like Kevin Love, 57 as a good value pick. Chris Boucher looks great at $5,100 as well, and you can even look to like DeMarcus Cousins at 44. He played very well in limited minutes, but he's not going to play big minutes at this point. Moving on to the guard position, you have some good value picks in the mid-range here. I'm not looking to really break the bank on anybody that's above like 8,000. But at 62, you have Ricky Rubio, who's already shown a big ceiling this year. Now, without having some of those bigs guys out there, he's just going to have to play over 30 minutes, I would say. He's been in like the 21 to 29 minute range. And the times this year that he has played north of 30 minutes, he's typically been very productive. He gives you big assist opportunities. And he's been shooting the ball a lot better this year than in years past. And last but not least, plug in Chris Boucher, 51. This is his chance to really go out there and produce. They don't have Siakam. He's going to start at center, or even if he starts at the 4, I think he's still going to produce. But good chance that he can maybe flirt with a double-double here. He's going to get some shots off. He can get you blocks and steals. And this is his chance to really just go out there and prove Nick Nurse wrong, because he's not been playing him a lot of minutes unless he has to. And against Chicago, against Vooch in that front court, I think he will have some success. So that's the first 6 picks that I'm looking at for tonight. We'll probably get some more news throughout the day, but I feel like this is a pretty solid first look. Let's go over to FanDuel now. All right, for FanDuel, the point guard picks, you have Drew Holiday at 96. He's expensive on both sites, but still makes sense to get to him, or try to get to him at least. SGA looks a little bit better on FanDuel, but I still like Halliburton. I think Lonzo makes some sense there. Rubio, Garland are much closely priced, so I'll probably go with Garland, just because he can put up like 30 real-life points. For the value picks, Kobe White looks decent at 55, but I don't think you need to really force anybody down here besides like DeLon Wright. Is just much better than all the other options. At 47, you can even play him at shooting guard if you needed to. Speaking of shooting guard, top-end picks, you have Drew Holiday, Paul George, DeRozan. Probably like DeRozan the best given his price tag, then Drew Holiday, and then Paul George. I still want to get to Halliburton just because he's really produced, and there's another spot that he can go out there and have success. He's just playing 40 minutes, even if the game isn't close. If it's within like 15 points in the fourth quarter, he's going to be out there until almost the very end. We'll probably sit out the last like 1 or 2 minutes there, but Halliburton at 81, still think he looks great. Middleton, Jaylen Brown looks a lot better. Garland looks good at 72. Buddy Hield looks a lot better on FanDuel at 58, so FanDuel's kind of priced where they didn't do any big changes on a lot of these guys' price tags, so I think Hield looks one of the best picks in the 5K range. Herter is in the mix. Kobe White's in the mix as well. Small forward, you can pay up for any, like Tatum if you wanted to, but I still like DeRozan. Then Paul George. But 7K range, you have Chris Middleton, Jaylen Brown. They both look solid. But it's tough for me to pass up on Buddy Hield at only 58. He came on fire in the third quarter. I believe he had 0 points. Yeah, he had 0 points at halftime, and then he made 5 threes in the third quarter. Added another one, added 4 steals. He's just playing huge minutes. It's easy to get to Buddy Hield, get to Halliburton on FanDuel. You're getting huge upsides on both of these pieces until Fox is back. At power forward, Christian Wood is questionable. You can maybe go to Sengun, but last time they barely played him. But I still would like Sengun on both sides if there's no Christian Wood today. John Collins looks great. We'll get a lot more minutes at center today. You can go to Kongwu if you needed to. But Kevin Love at 57 is appealing. But I'll probably still focus on Chris Boucher on both sides at 51. He looks good on DraftKings. He looks even probably a little bit better on FanDuel, that you can play him at 2 spots. And you get those extra bonuses for blocks. And at center, Jokic is still going to be the best bend up on the slate. Easy to get to Jokic today with all the other value that we have in Atlanta, in Toronto, Sacramento value with Buddy Hield on FanDuel, even Harrison Barnes. But Jokic is the best, and I would probably look to like Nick Vucevic at 88, and then I'd look to John Collins, and then I'd probably plug in like Boucher if you wanted to go to him at center, or like Sengun if there's no Christian Wood today. But that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I will see you all next time.